नहीं अभी टॉपिक नहीं था ना इसलिए मैं नहीं किया था. ओके कोई दिक्कत नहीं. So suppose that we have table means we have different table. One student detail, second is parent detail, next is teacher detail. Next is teacher detail. Suppose that any more, let it to be this much only. But for these all, whatever table means whatever student, parent, teacher, three tables required for three person. But we not going to create three table. We will create just only one table and we will display the data according to their need. Whenever we will get suppose we got this table is means whatever URL or whatever. Now it is of a student. Suppose that now we have a student detail. Okay, so that time only a student detail data will be available in this table. Got it? Next, suppose a parent detail. So that time only parent detail details will be available in this table. And suppose a teacher detail. So teacher detail data will come there. So how we will decide the student, parent or teacher? So we have the navigation bar. We will create the navigation bar. And in the navigation bar, suppose we going to create that this is your student, this become your parents, this become your teacher. Suppose that three sections is there. When you going to click each section,
यही तो हम बोल रहे थे सर.
yeah,
ये हम कर
no,
सकते हैं अभी जितना पढ़े उतना से.
it will be some tedious. Let it to be. We will do that on that routing side. No issue. So here parent, then teacher. Okay. So suppose when you clicking on the student, table will be generate. Table data will come. But what data will come? Now I had clicked a student, so only a student detail will come. Means a student data will come. Now and suppose when we clicked parent, only parent data will come. When we clicked teacher, then teacher data will come. But how many table we have? Just only one table. But what we going to do? We will take the data according to the button clicked, according to the requirement. We have to display the student detail. So a table is same, data will be modified and the student details data will come. When we clicking parent details data will come and it will be settled on in the table. Then teacher detail table will teacher detail data will come and it will be available in there. Got it? So these types Angular going to help a lot because for the one task, for detail purpose, we have to create three table. In place of three table, we going to create only one table and data will be display as per navigation.
सर अभी आप राउटर हटा दिए. पहले राउटर का सीन आ रहा था, अब राउटर का इसमें सीन नहीं है क्योंकि सेमी टेबल में.
Yeah, that is the thing. Okay, fine. Now we going to look at TrackBy. We had discussed that day, but I don't know how much person had got the idea. We will go one time. That's the most important topic. Nested array, where is that? Day 10, day 11. Oh, sorry, this is switch. Where is NG for NG class? 1 second. Okay, yeah. Anyone who can explain TrackBy? Any idea?
Instead of all data loading, only final data will.
Yeah, correct. I think Sweta have all idea. She is from computer science background, I think. Sweta, what is your background?
Civil.
Civil. Oh, Here all are computer science. They are not telling anything. See, now I taken 4 name. Okay, means 4 data is available. So when we will load on UI, this all 4 data will be available. Fine. But suppose that I going to add one more data, not only one. Means now see what TrackBy will do. Suppose generally what will happen? Suppose one button is there. Let me add one button. When we going to click more, some function will be called there, and on that function call, this functionality will call. Means this all data will be called. Got it? Means this will be by default on the UI load time. So it will go and display the data. When we are clicking more detail, this more button, that time these all data have to display. Now one thing here, only 4 data. Here these all 4 data are common. Correct? These all 4 data are common. So what are you thinking? When page will load, this all 4 data and new data means this combinedly, this all data 9 record have to reload again or not. When we will click more but means more button, this all 9 record have to reload again.
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is separate call. Okay, inside some function we going to call that. Means you can tell this is one separate array, this is also one separate array. In this array only 4 data which going to display on the UI initial part. Means initially in this array we have 9 record. Out of this 9 record, 4 record is common. Okay, and when we going to click this button more, then this all 9 record have to load. Correct? Then only we will get, because on this more, this function, this data is going to call. So due to that, that all 9 record will get load on UI again. Now just tell me some scenario, what will happen? Will that load all new record? Means without TrackBy and with TrackBy, what will happen?
Without TrackBy, sir.
Okay, so without TrackBy, what will happen?
Means all data load.
Yes, it will load all data.
Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, so what you're telling? It will load the data. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. All data.
Okay, so without TrackBy, okay, so without TrackBy, first tell me what will happen? It will load the data. Correct?
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
with load with TrackBy, what will happen?
Means only new data coming. This data only load.
Okay, so with TrackBy, what Praful is telling, I don't know whether that's correct or not. I have no idea, but let me clean this all. Yeah, so with TrackBy, what he telling that it will load only new record, new data in the sense this data. Who is on mute? Okay, so with a TrackBy, what will happen? As Praful suggesting that a new record will not get loaded. This all 4 record is same, old one itself. But from the 5 to 9, this is a new record. So Praful, if I am correct or not, let me correct that. So these all 5 record means 5 to 9 will get load. Correct? Means that 1 to 4 will not get load. 5 to 9 will update on UI. Is that or any other thing? Sweta and Praful.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is that okay? So see what will happen in the TrackBy. So when we are going to call the TrackBy method, so it will compare. Suppose that we have 9 record. So out of this 9 record, it will compare from the previous record. We have 4 record. So it will compare from the previous 4 record, whether the previous 4 record, all 4 record or 1 record, 2 record, anything. Means any record is in the newly loaded data and old data. Is any record is common or not? So it will check that whether any record is common. So they will got that 4 record is common. Correct? So these 4 record, so out of these 4 record, these 4 record will not load again because this is already available on UI. So what will happen? They will load just only this all new record. Means they will update on UI with the help of TrackBy. Clear? This is the scenario. This will happen. We will go on the topic. But is this clear up to here? Tell me. Now see. TrackBy using for improving the performance of the application. Keep in mind one question. Always they will ask. How you will improve the performance of application. PLICATION. If you want, you can note down that question, but answer we will get later slowly. How you will improve the performance of the application? Performance in the sense less internet connectivity is required. On lower speed itself, it will work like that. Within few seconds, page have to load these all things. So for this,
Easy
we can,
loading, sir.
yeah. So for this, we can tell one answer. Now we know that is TrackBy. Because so one answer we know only TrackBy. Because suppose there are total 9 record. Out of this 9 record, 4 record is already old one. So they're not going to load this 4 record. They will load just new record. I mean, just imagine for this 4 record, 1 minute they are taking. Then they will not take 1 minute because for this complete 9 record, they're taking 2 minutes. Okay. So in place of taking 2 minutes, they will save 1 minute because they're not using this 1 minute. Correct? Because already that data is available on the UI. So they will just take this 1 minute. Means within 1 minute, you will get the data. Got it? So this become the improve the performance of the UI, performance of the application. Clear? Okay. So TrackBy using improving the performance application, it will compare the old and new data and it will keep old data as usual. It will add only new data in our application. Clear this line? Anyone having any doubt? Tell me. Already we had discussed this line itself. Any issue? Okay. So when you add or remove an item, the Angular will track it and update only the modified item in the DOM. It does not render the entire list so loading. Means it not going to render the complete list. It will render only this list. because this is your new data. Remaining all are old. So they're not going to render that complete list. Fine. Let's see here. Something is written, but this fail if we update the list of from the backend server. This is general, it's telling if we will update the list from the backend server, that time the application will fail. This is because the retrieve object cannot be compared with the existing one. When we getting data from the database, that time it's not going to compare from the existing data. So as the reference has been changed, the Angular simply remove this element from the DOM and recreates the new element. Angular will remove and recreate from the new data. This has a huge performance implication. So Angular TrackBy clause elements this problem. With the help of Angular TrackBy, we can eliminate that issue by telling Angular how to identify similar elements. So with the help of TrackBy, it going to identify the similar element, and the Angular usage will use the value returned by the TrackBy function to match the element. Means this complete line, it means that it will compare the existing data and new record, and whatever changes will be there, it will load that part only. Now let's move to the example. Track by directive, remove this component. Track by directive component, app component, app I face. And this line. Okay, so what I done, I created some sample data. Otherwise, do one thing. Let me create again. Not an issue. Remove this also. Okay, so first we will create some sample data. Student. Otherwise, I will take. I have already that sample data. Now see, in this sample data, we have two record, a student one, a student two. Fine. Means this I have to load on UI while rendering of the page itself. So what we will do, because I want, okay, let it to be. That time we will come. Now I have to display this data on UI. So what we will do, we will create one table, and inside that table we will display. Now tell me how we can create the table. First,
TR,
TR,
insert TR, TH,
next we have two field.
TR and TD.
TR, TD.
Next,
Write their interpolation inside TD.
see one thing I telling you, while writing interpolation or anything, you will not get suggestion. But what you can do, put a space, then start writing. You will get suggestion. Means this auto closing. Otherwise, see, I showing you that demerit. If there is no space, now I have to write opening, then I have to write closing. Okay. But while writing, just provide one space and then start writing. You will get automatic closing also. Okay, tell me. Next.
Yeah, first TR inside line number 7, right there star NG4.
Don't write completely. Just write ng for like this. It will come suggestion. But anyway, try to write manually, complete line. Then you will get an idea. Okay, what will be here?
Where in student.
Student, student. In place of item,
Next. A student name, a student ID is there. How to write this? Yeah.
Student dot student ID.
Next.
student dot name.
Okay, fine. Let it to be copy and paste. What is that name? Fine. After this, we will get the data. Let's save and let's see. What is the use of constructor? What is the use of constructor?
Sir, it is a globally scope and calling the class method.
Any others? What is the use of constructor?
We're using this keyword, we can call the keyword.
Okay, so if we will write inside the constructor while page load itself, that code, whatever code we will write there, it will get executed during a starting page. Correct? That is the main use of the constructor. So whatever code you want to execute at the starting phase itself, you can pass that type, that all method code, whatever inside the constructor, it will get executed during page loading time itself, starting time itself. So, okay, let it to be. Now I want to add one button regarding the displaying the data, means show more, something like that. So go with the button. Next. So show more. Next, I want to add one event. How to add event? Tell me. Button, click event.
Inside parenthesis right there, click.
Click. Got it? Like this. I want to show more. Means we have to create one show more that method. Create that. See, go a step by step. Okay. As per requirement, create that. So show more. Next. Now show more. Suppose when we click, okay, let me copy this method name. Fine. Up to this, anyone having issue? So inside show more, what we want, now we have just two records, correct? But when we clicking show more, I have to display here 5 record or 6 record, means more record anyway. Why this giving error? Show more does not exist. It existing. Just wait. It had save later. See, when you will save first file, means first, suppose you had saved HTML file first and you had saved this file second, then maybe you will get error. So that time just save again. See, previously I was getting error because the HTML TypeScript page had not saved properly. That's why. So save, you will not get error. Fine. So now I getting only 2 record. Now I want to display 4 record. When I clicking this button, show more. Nothing is going to happen now. I want to display 4 record. How I can do? Copy this code and pass inside the show more. Take 2 more record. Because 2 record is already available on the UI loading time itself. Correct or not? RAGHU, Raghu. Then this become 4. Then SOHA and so on. Now, is up to this clear? What we done? When we will click this show more, that time again this data is going to load. But whose data is this one? For a student, correct? This data is belonging to a student record itself. But why we getting error? Because we are not referring to any variable. We are referring to some data itself. That's why we getting error. So what we will do? We will declare one student variable. See that this dot a student, correct? So we going to create one this dot. Fine. Let's see. We got means there is no error now. But in place of writing this student here, we will write this student inside constructor. That will be best practice. Actually, good actually. That will also correct. But anyway, that will be good. Now add this. No, don't add const. STU DENTS students and colon. Sorry, you can take a equal to make array. And now pass here this. Fine. Up to here, anyone having issue? Output will be same. There will be no any changes in the output. Just see. Fine. We was getting previously also Rahul and Mohan. Now also be getting Rahul and Mohan, 2 data. But what is happening? Here we created the variable and the data we had passed inside the constructor. And when we will click show more detail, that time we will get 1, 2, 3 and 4. This all 4 record. Let's see. We getting all 4 record. We getting that. But where is the TrackBy? Now we had not done anything, any operation on the TrackBy. Let's verify one thing. What is happening without TrackBy? So see, this is here table record, correct? Let's load the page. We have 1, 2, 3. Now just header is there, 1 TR, 2 data is there. So we are getting 2 TR, 1 TR having TH as a name and a serial number. Next TR having the data 1 and Rahul, these all. Now take care. Keep your eye on this 3 line. Okay. Check that whether it's blinking, means it loading or not. So what is happening? See what happened. Had you realized something?
Yeah, sir. Not
This all 4 had loaded because it had a blinked. Let's see. Getting when we clicking show more, each time that all 4 is loading, just header is not loading because the header part is already fixed. Because header data we are not getting from this record show more. Correct. So we are not getting that one. It blinking. See, it blinking because it is reloading the page. Because we had not used the TrackBy. Now come with the TrackBy. So in TrackBy, how we will write that? So put here comma and write here TrackBy. Track and B will be capital. And write here let TrackBy equal to or colon. Yeah, equal to. 1 second. Sorry, I think some mistake I doing. Okay, direct, no need to variable, let it to be, not the issue. Okay, so TrackBy, and after that we will write one TrackBy function, anything. Just normally be writing anything, TrackBy and FN. What is happening? TrackBy and FN. So what we will do? We will take this and one more thing, put comma and take in index also. I equal to index. Up to this, anyone having issue? So here we had taken TrackBy. Remove this TrackBy in let, not an issue. So here we had taken TrackBy and then we had assigned one TrackBy function. Let I equal to index. Now take this TrackBy fn and make one function. Means function in the sense method. TrackBy this thing, this thing. Now TrackBy will take two parameter. One parameter is index and one parameter is the data itself. So take that both the parameter. So index comma just take item, means that will be take the data itself. So two things. Do one thing. Take first console. Just verify what all data we are going. Index. Take comma itself and item. So see what we had written. We written one TrackBy. Inside TrackBy we taken item and index and item. We done console.log. But had we passed any argument inside the TrackBy from the HTML, because we are calling this method from the HTML itself. So let's verify. So let's see. We had used TrackBy here itself. So we are not passing any type of argument. But here we are receiving that index and item. Let's verify whether really we are getting those data or not. So what happened? We got the data. So we got the data. See that TrackBy line number 48. Line number 48. Console.log. So what all details we getting? We getting 0 and 1 because we had written index. Correct? And then we writing item. So item in the sense complete object. Clear? Up to here, any issue? Now I going to implement the TrackBy method. Just we have to write return. After that, on what basis you going to compare the data? Means uniqueness. Suppose that you are entering, you are going to register something in Facebook or Twitter, anywhere. What you are doing? Either you will provide email ID or mobile number, because one email ID means only one person will be available. That email ID means no any other user will use the same email ID. Sure, something minor changes will be there, but it will be. They can't use the same type mobile number. One mobile number will be common for only one person. It will be not common for the other. Duplicate person will be not use the same. That's why we are using. So on that, on what basis we going to compare the data here? Now tell me, on what basis? On basis of name or basis of serial number? On what basis you can compare the record?
Name basis.
Name basis. Why? Rahul is there. Maybe other person is also having name Rahul, but serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, that will be not duplicate. Correct?
Yes.
So we will not compare with the name, because naming may be duplicate person having. So we will go with the serial number. So what we will do? Item, because item is containing all the objects. See that these all are item value. So item getting all the detail. So we will take item dot. I want which one? Serial number, means a student ID. Correct or not? So we will take a student ID and just save. Just wait. Now reload the data. You will not get any data here because I had removed the comment section. We getting this one. Fine. Let's verify now whether really it comparing or not. Open this. Where is that TR? So be getting here serial number. Okay. So now it's showing 3 record. One is for the header and one is the Rahul, one is Mohan. Now click on show more. Now tell me, How many time you had seen the blinking part? Maybe you not observed. Just let me reload. Take care. Where you have to take care, this TR, 3 TR is there. Take care here. When I will click, now see. How many time you seen the blinking? All this or only
Two.
last two?
Sir,
Only two.
no, sir, last two.
Last two.
Last two. Why?
Yes, sir.
Because we have already these two data and two more data is coming there. Let's see. Let me close. Rahul means 1 and 2 is there, 3 and 4 is not there. 3 and 4 is coming new data. That's why this last 2 is blinking only, because this both are going to reload. Now one question, if I will click now show more again one more time, what you thinking? It will load again or not? What will happen?
It will be not login.
It will not load.
Yes.
Okay, what about others? Because if I will click show more, what will happen? Show more method will get called, correct?
Yes.
And when it will get called,
Yes, sir.
show more, where is show more? Yeah, so show more will get called, means again we have this much data. So what you thinking? If I will click, this all have to load again or not?
No, it won't load.
Okay, Samir telling no. What about others? Give your opinion whether true, false,
No,
or not. So no.
No, sir.
Next, anyone who
No,
telling
sir.
yes, don't go emotionally. Okay, keep on your answer. Everybody telling that no means I will also know. Tell me fast. Anyone who is with yes? See who is brave. Oh, all is going in same flow. Okay, now tell me the reason why no.
Because that data already.
Wait. Others tell. Who all had told no? Now see, nobody will tell because somebody had told nothing.
Sir,
Yeah, Shivani, tell. Why
sir,
these
it
all are?
will reload only new data.
It will only reload new data. So these all 3 and 4 is new data.
Yes, sir.
Then
Sir, it's already loaded.
What?
Sir, calling the one time say means calling the in function, clicking that time only showing update only 2 time. In
okay.
loading the page that time is
Yes,
same
sir.
thing, sir. Means happen.
Okay. So let's see. Means approx you all telling that's correct. Nothing is new. But what happened when we will click show more? I had not clicked still. If I will click show more, what will happen? It will compare the record which is available on our UI. So on UI, record is available from 1 to 4. Correct? So it will compare with record 1 to 4 and a new record, that whether any differences are there or not. So if there will be no any differences, it will not load. But suppose one record is new, then it will load just only one record. But for right now, there is no any record is available because already we had clicked show more, and due to the show more, we had got a record number 3rd and 4th. Means now we can tell there is no any record, new record. So if I will click show more, then I thinking, I don't know whether what will happen, but I thinking it not have to be reload. It will not render the page because already record is available, and it going to compare the previous record and a new record, means before the button click and after the button click. So they will not find any new thing. So it will not load the page. Let's see. Take care on this area. On the code side, TR. What happened? Nothing happened. I clicking that button, but nothing is happening. Okay, because there is no any new record available. Reload the page again. Now click that show more. 2 times this data came. Now click one more time. Nothing happened because already this 4 data is available now, and it's not going to load any new data more. That's why this is the TrackBy. Now tell me, is it clear or having doubt?
Sir, for me clear, sir.
What about others?
Yes,
Anyone
sir.
who
Yes.
have doubt? Who have doubt, then tell me. Shivani Kumari is there. Okay. Shivani, had you got? Something. Where is the error? 1 second. What I done mistake? What it is
लेट
telling?
सर
Component.
सर आप लेट वेरिएबल लिए ना
Yeah, that I trying actually. Token colon is expected. Colon late. This. I think now it have to work. I trying with the late whether we can take or not. अरे ओपन तो हो जा जल्दी.
सर
See
अभी
what
तो
is
सारा
happening.
डाटा
Yeah,
रीलोड हुआ
yeah. What is happening due to that late means I taken late track by equal to that one. Okay. Due to that it's not working like that. So we can't take late, and here we have to take the colon. Now it will not load. That I was checking that whether it's working like that also. If you have doubt, then just verify. Okay. Now only 2 record. Fine. So see Shivani, what we had discussed. Suppose you have only 4 record, means suppose now on UI we are getting 2 record. Okay. And after that, when we will click this button, we will get some more record. We got 4 record. So previously 2 record was there. After that 2 record came new. So when old record and some new record will come after some activity, means button click or this, that, anything. So without TrackBy and with TrackBy. So without TrackBy, it's not going to compare. There will be no any comparison, and it will load all the new record. But when we using TrackBy, what will happen? It will compare the previous record, whatever previous data is there, it will compare with the new record, and whatever new data is there, just new data, that will only get loaded. Means now 2 record is there, 1 and 2, Rahul and Mohan. When I will click the button, show more, Rahul, Mohan is already, Raghu and Sohan, 2 more record got added. But let's say go through that code. Go to body, when this also table part. Okay, so now we getting here 1 record for Rahul, 1 record for Mohan, 1 is a header, 3 total TR is there. But if I will click this show more, you have to take care on this section TR, only 3 TR is there. This all 3 TR will not blink. New TR will be blink. See, this 2 TR had blinked, means this 2 TR had got loaded. This all TR had not loaded. And now if I will click now one more time, then it will compare from the previous record. So how many data is there? 4 record. Means when I will click show more, it will compare for the this 4 record and new data which going to load. So if any new data will be there, then only this part will blink again. Means it will render the list, it will load the data. But if suppose there is no any new record, then it will not load this section. Okay, it will just keep as usual. Let's click that show more. Nothing is happening. Okay, because there is no any new record, all are old record. but replace the page. Only to record is there. Only to record. So more to record got blinked. Clear? This thing we had discussed. So how we had written the code, just one time go through the code also. So for adding track by whatever button this that we had done, that's not the issue. That's not the main thing. Main thing is this track by. So we have to take this track by. Okay, one thing, if I will not take index, whether it will work or not. Let's verify that also. Yeah, then also it's working. So it's not no need that to take the index, but we can take because suppose somewhere we going to use that. That's why we taking. But anyway, so what we will do? We will take a track by and colon track by fn. Okay, what is this track by fn? Is this value or type? What are you thinking?
Then
Sir, it is type, sir.
It is type or value?
then
Somebody telling type. Okay, others
then
value.
Values.
Value.
Values.
No, this is a type because the colon is there. If this will be value, then equal to will be there. Correct? Then only we are going to assign the value. Is this or not?
No, sir.
No. Really? I don't know. Just I got some doubt. That's why I asked.
Really, sir. How can that possible?
What?
How can contains a type, sir? After the colon.
Say. Maybe but if they are taking value, then key pair should be. Means like this they are taking. Let it to be anything, whatever. We will see later. We will do R&D. But here what we are doing, here we are taking track by and after that a colon and then we are passing the function. Correct? And this function we are going to define on the TypeScript page. Track by function. And here this function will take two arguments. One will it will take an index, one it will take item. Okay, so we going to return. What we will return? We will return only on which basis we going to compare unique part only. It will take the unique part and it will return. That's it. Means this one section and then this one section. That's it. For the track by you have to add these two things, nothing extra. And this track by fn, whatever we had written, this you can write anything. It's not the issue. Here we are writing a track by fn. This is because that is a name. So you can write anything. It's not the problem. Got it? Now tell me, anyone having any issue in that track by? I'm
Sir,
not thinking, but
for
anyway.
For me, no.
Okay, fine. Anyone? Others?
Sir,
So
what
I
is
had
the use of sir, index argument? Sir?
which one?
Index argument.
Index.
First, yeah, sir. First one.
Nothing. Suppose you have to show some index value somewhere. You can use this one. Suppose I want to write the console and I want to display the numbering. Means
Like
index.
0, 1, 2, 3, like that.
Yeah. Means whatever index is there, I want to display the index. Then I had written the index and then I had written the item. Let's verify.
Full.
Yes, Samir.
See that.
Yes, sir.
He
Got
got
it.
0, 1, 2, 3, whatever data will be there, we will get. See. 0, 1, 2, 3. New record 0, 1, 2, 3 came. Got it? So this is index. Because maybe the serial number is there, maybe this serial number is not there, and you getting index value only. So on that basis, we can pass serial number.
Index plus 1, if you will do, then we'll get 1 from
Yeah.
1 to 4, like that.
You can do here itself.
Yes.
Clear? Anyone having any doubt? Anything? I'm not thinking, but Now see, it's showing 1, 2. Previously it was from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? So actually see what we are doing whenever we are writing code. If we are writing any function or any method, we are trying to pass complete object or even array, whatever data is there, we are trying to pass the complete data itself. So wherever required or as much data is required, so we can receive that part only. But suppose you have 5 argument or 10 argument and you going to pass the 10 data one by one, it become the headache because in argument you will write 10 times. Correct or not? Now two data is there. Suppose this type. Suppose this much different data is there. In place of writing this much, why not? We can create one object itself and we can pass one simple object name. And wherever it required, we can receive that object dot key name. So that's what that type we can write the code, and that will be good actually.
Sir, one example, sir.
One example, I have to create the data. 1 second. Okay, let it to be this itself, a student. Here we have more data, student name, a student ID, this, that, whatever. Suppose I want to show a student. Show a student some method, this, and I want to display the data here. Let it to be console.log. Mute. Okay, let it to be stud data. A student data. Call this. How to call? Where we will call? Inside the constructor. Fine. Inside the constructor, we going to call that method. Now tell me, what is the error?
Define like.
Tell without looking. Tell me the error. What will be that?
Sir, this.
Yeah, this dot is the error. Okay. Now, if I will call this method, this student record, we will get that. Let's say for right now, just one console is there. Let's see one time. After that, we will look at something. What we get? We got a student data. Now, I want a student name or a student ID. What you will do? I want a student ID. What we will do? We will take this student dot a student ID. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
We will pass here this dot a student dot
Name.
a student ID or name something. Why we getting error? Okay. So we passed one data, a student ID. So we have to receive here also.
Yes.
Fine. Then we will receive here also. And suppose that here ID. Then only we can get the data. What is error? Property does not exist. A student ID.
कॉलम दे के any type कीजिए.
No. That not required. But 1 second. Okay, let it to be. I'm not thinking that it will give error. It will give data.
Sir, return key.
No, return will not required. Let it to be. Let's see whether we getting data or not. It's showing undefined. 1 second. Property of student data does not exist on type any. Okay, got it. Here we have to pass that type of a student. It will create that data. Now it will not. Now also it giving error. What is the mistake? A student ID. Type here we can't give actually. No, here not. This dot students. But okay, see, suppose we have to just pass a student ID. What we can do here? We can give like that type. Fine, but it have to go directly. It's not any issue. This dot students and dot some different base, then I think we have to pass here. But okay, so suppose we have to pass here a student ID. What we can do? A student dot a student ID. Via that type we can pass. Suppose tomorrow you want the student name, then what you will do? Then you will pass one more time. Correct or not? One time we taken the ID. Fine, comma, comma. Now I want the student name. What I will do? I will again copy paste. This type we going to pass. Is this or different? Getting my point or not? Suppose I want the ID, so we had passed like this type. I want name, I passed like this type. Suppose tomorrow some more data is there. I have no idea in future what data they are going to add. But suppose they added some more data, like age also. So what I will do? We will take the age, we will pass that also. Means whatever data is there, we going to pass separate. And then we are receiving here ID, comma, name, comma, age. Correct. Like this type we can do that. But is this correct way? In place of writing this much argument, why not we can do one thing? Why not we can pass this complete object? This complete array name itself. So we will do this thing. Remove this. Just pass this dot students. I know that error that is coming due to this one. Okay, so we passed the students, this dot student, pass, take there a student data, and now take that student data. Let's save and let's see what we are getting. We are getting just only one data or all data. So line number 55, line number 55 is this one. We got complete data. Now suppose we want just a student data, means a student ID. How we can get? Already up to here we got complete data itself, all data. Now I want to display just a student ID or a student name. Suppose in this console I want to display a student name or ID, just ID. And in this record we want to display just a name. Now maybe you will think we had not passed a student ID and a student name, then how I will display? Tell me how we will display that. How we can take that? A student ID or a student name. Already we have this complete object itself. Correct. Of complete array. Okay, got it. What was the error? This was an array. And here we have to pass that. This type. We had passed a student ID, correct? Let's copy this. Copy, paste, comment. Let's save. I think that have to work. Now also undefined.
सर गोली मार दीजिए.
Okay, let it to be. Okay, so we are passing a students, this dot a student, so we can get here a student data. But what I want, a student ID I want and a student name I want. Tell me, who all completed JavaScript?
Sir, student data dot id.
Student data dot id. Let's verify. So pass here a student data dot id. Let's see whether id or whether something different. So we have to check this one, a student id, because that is the key, correct? So pass that. Let's see whether we getting or not. We got undefined because of the maybe due to the looping. Okay, we have to pass that index 1. Wait. 0th index. A student data, fine. Pass here 0th index and dot. Let's save. Now we got the ID, correct? Because we going to receive the data on the 0th index. This is available on 0 index. Then we have to receive name or a student ID. Then only we can get the data. Or otherwise, yeah, index we have to pass anyway. Then via this process also we can get.
Name.
By this we can get or not?
Yes,
I
we
think. I think no, we can't get.
Sir,
Oh, we
this
got.
process only multiple array inside array that time also.
We got that also. Okay, so same type we have to pass from here also. Like this dot students, then this type 0, then this type a student name or whatever. And we can receive that. Sorry. Yeah, that was correct. Now comment this line and copy this, save. Yeah, we got that value 1. So by this process, we have to pass the data. But we are not going to pass separate. We are passing complete object itself. We are going to receive that data. So what we are doing, a student on the 0th index, we want a student ID. A student on 0th index, we want a student name. Correct. 0th index, we want a student name, means just name property. Save. Now see, we got 1 and we got Rahul. Means what happened? We are getting, comment this line. So we are getting, here we are passing complete object, and after that whatever data I want, 0th index, 1 index, or you want the loop, whatever you want, you can do that. Means in place of passing the data from the starting itself, means the method call or function call, just one data, it's not the good. Pass all data on that place itself, and here you going to manipulate whatever data is required, just manipulate that data during the operation time. Got it? What we had done. Clear? This is a good practice actually, because otherwise here you will pass one data, you will pass a name, you will pass ID, then again for the second student you will pass the ID, you will pass a name, then same type you will receive here also. One data, two data, then again for the second student, first, second record, like that. In place of going for that, just completely pass complete object or complete array and receive here. That's it. You will get the proper data, and whatever you have to do, just do that. Clear? Or anyone having any issue? Had you got why we had written like this? Anyone having any doubt? Tell me. Because these are all things, whatever we are doing right now, this how we are receiving the data. This is common. We will use these all more because in the Angular we are working more and more on array type itself. Because when you going to loop, on which you are going to loop? You are going to loop on the array itself. So we have to know these all things slowly. Means recall that JavaScript, whatever we had studied. Clear? Anyone having issue?
नहीं समझ में आया सर.
कौन नहीं समझ में आया?
यही अभी का.
किस पॉइंट पे?
ये लाइन नंबर 26 to 58 यही मतलब ये ऑब्जेक्ट कंप्लीट ऑब्जेक्ट हम लोग लिए हैं.
हाँ.
कंप्लीट ऑब्जेक्ट के बाद ये स्ट्यू डेटा 0 एंड फिर से एक एरे लेके स्ट्यू आईडी लिए हैं यहाँ पे.
हाँ.
सर लाइन नंबर ये थोड़ा सा 24 नहीं समझ में आया. 24.
Okay. What is this 24 line number? This is function. This is method call.
Yes.
Fine. So in the method call, suppose you have to get Ramu, means you have to pass some data. Suppose in place of this dot student, from where we are getting this dot students, from this object.
Yes.
Complete data. We are passing this complete data. In place of this complete data, suppose we going to just pass Mohan. What will happen? We will receive Mohan here.
Yes.
Correct? Because here we are receiving a student data. So we will get that Mohan. But when you getting data from the database, fine. When we will get data from the database, how many record will be available?
Only
more than 100, 500, whatever. Correct? Means original database. Suppose more than 500 records are available. Fine. Means not record. 400 attribute. Means a total field or column you can tell. 400 column are there. Name, password, email ID, mobile number, education, background, this, that, whatever. Just imagine in some operation you want name. Means if you performing some task, suppose here you performing some task, you want only ID. Correct? Yes. Here you going to perform some task. Here you want a student name and qualification. You going to perform some other task. Biodata.
Like address field we need.
Yeah. Means here I want biodata. Now I want some more different record like address, then personal detail, family detail, these all things. Now just imagine this place we want some data, this place we want some data, this place we want some data. Suppose only two record, two data, two field you can tell. Here I want a 5 field. Here I want 5 more field. How much total field? 5 and 5, 10 and 2, 12. Total 12 field. Now just imagine here you will pass a 2 argument because you want ID and name, 2 field. You will pass here 2 field or not?
Yes.
While calling this method, means when you will call this, just for right now, just ignore this is TrackBy function. Okay. Just imagine this is some function we had written and we going to call this method. We going to call this method somewhere. So where we going to call? Let's say call here itself, TrackBy. Fine. So we going to call. So what we will do? We will pass. Suppose we want 2 data, index and item. Suppose my index is 12, comma, item is okay. 2 things. I passed these 2 items. Now second method, show a student. Show a student is this one. I want a 5 record here. So what we will do? We will pass some data, Mohan, and something, then again something, then again something. Correct or not?
Yes.
We will do like this. Then we will receive those data here. Correct. We will receive those data in the show a student, and then we will do our whatever we have to perform the task here. Correct. Next, biodata. We will call this method somewhere,
Yes.
wherever we want. Suppose we called here itself.
This dot biodata.
This dot biodata. And here I want a 10 record. What I will do? One record, comma. Second record, comma. Next record,
Yes.
comma. Next
And so
record.
on. And
Like
so
that.
on. Yes.
So how many record we had passed? Suppose that 10 record or 5 record. These all, whatever we had passed in this 3 method, all records are different. Got it?
Yes, yes.
But these all records are coming from database. Right now we had written hard coded, but these all records are coming from the database. What you will do now for the biodata, you will receive those all data. Value 1, comma, value 2, comma, value 3.
And so on.
Like that we will do.
Yes.
Means whatever records we are passing there, we will receive here. Already we know this from the function. Now just imagine, in place of passing this different type of record, and by mistake if you forget that first record is Mohan, second record means first record is name, that is Mohan, second record is something, second is next is something, something like that, we get confused. Okay, it becomes the tedious task again, because we have to verify. Why not? We can do one simple task. In place of sending this much data, we will just send only one data, that is data students, because this data students containing all the record.
Yes, yes. Inside
Got it?
the student.
Yeah.
Yes.
Means everywhere. 12, okay. Let it to be this data student. Let it to be this data student. I don't know, whatever error is there, let it to be. But error is there due to this argument. So this type we can do or not?
Yes, yes. It will be make very easy.
Yeah, because now what we done, we had passed the complete data. We're not going to keep in mind that first record is name, second is the mobile number, third is email, nothing, no any issue. What we can do now, we can just pass here only one, just only one data or anything, whatever you want. And here now the main work starting here. What we can do, data dot. Now we have to verify where is that means that record, name, email, password, so that we can do with the help of the position wise.
So
So
where we
that's,
have got only ID and name.
yeah, so suppose I want just ID or name or whatever. So 1 second.
The students dot name. Yes.
Like this we can pass.
No, sir. What about data, sir? Object, we will give object dot. Okay.
Got it?
Got it. Got it.
So a student data, whatever argument is there, and then we can receive as per our requirement. But this 0 is also not required, because if you will do looping, on each loop you will pass that I value there. Clear? And on each loop, I less than 0, I equal to, and I plus something will be there. Yeah.
Sir, STU data, after
Yeah.
that bracket is there. Suppose I will remove the bracket and instead of bracket I am going to mention dot, then what would
Where
be
you telling? Here.
line number 63.
63. Okay.
After STU data and then bracket is there. Instead of
Yeah.
bracket, suppose I am going to mention dot.
Yeah.
Remove that bracket, sir. Remove that bracket. Yes. So hereafter, what would be result, sir?
That is wrong. See that data. Where is that? See the data. What is this? Array.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
the object.
Okay.
So this is on the 0th index, correct?
Yes.
This data on the 1th index.
One index.
So you have to tell that this is on the 0. That's why I had passed 0.
Got it, sir.
That's why I had written here 0 index, and after that I want the student ID. Which student ID I want? The student record which is available on the 0 index.
Got it, sir.
This one. So this is the benefit actually. In place of passing one data, we can pass the complete object or complete array, whatever. And wherever manipulation is required, do the manipulation.
Sir, actually now everyone understood. You ask them, sir.
I don't know how much got, but this is the actually in the real scenario when we doing on the real project, we are doing like this type itself. In place
Very,
of passing just one data, we will pass the complete object. Wherever we have to take, we can manipulate.
okay, sir. You
Got
you
it?
make very easy thing, sir.
Clear? Or anyone having issue?
No, sir, I have no issue, sir.
What about others?
पूरा इशू है सर हमको.
ये जावा डेवलपर को कौन सा इशू होता है भाई?
पता है ना
क्या
सर
issue है?
इशू लग रहा है.
अब
नींद
क्या
आ
issue?
रहा है तो सर बेसिकली इसलिए हम देख लेंगे
हाँ
वीडियो.
तो सही है. ये जावा डेवलपर को इसी है तो फिर HTML डेवलपर क्या कर रहे होंगे?
आप उसके बाद सिविल इंजीनियर तब क्या करेंगे?
फिर जबकि श्वेता को कुछ पता है, श्वेता है ही नहीं. लो, श्वेता को सब क्लियर रहता है, ये बताता हूँ. प्रफुल्ल, रोशन, समझ में आया?
हाँ सर समझ गए.
लेट्स स्टॉप रिकॉर्ड.